Pumbaa, I love you. But we just don't have room for a warthog here. Hello, if you haven't been here before, my name's Eliza Halpern, and today I've decided to do a little experiment and talk about something I know absolutely nothing about, and that's football.
Sports go sports!
Actually, to clarify, I shouldn't say I know nothing about football. I grew up with football in the background. I'm from the Baltimore area originally, so I'm aware of the Ravens and their beautiful purple logo and people running around in tights with helmets, and sometimes people get concussions and kill people. But nonetheless, I know it is a sport that a lot of people love, and so I'm trying to broaden my horizons and learn more about the things that make other people happy, so hopefully I can make people happy too. And today I'm going to be talking about the Super Bowl. Or actually, I don't know if I have that license, so the big game. So, let's start with the basics. So I understood that there were two teams playing in this game. One, the Kansas City Chiefs, and two, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Also, something I realized about the Buccaneers, their logo is a pirate flag. They play for Tampa, which is in Florida, which is near what body of water? The Gulf of Mexico, but also the Caribbean, which makes the Buccaneers the Pirates of the Caribbean. Jack Sparrow's in the Super Bowl. I hope they have rum. Now let's talk about the actual game. So it starts with a bunch of large men in different colored leggings, lined up across from each other as if one side is the debutantes and the other is the suitors, and they're about to start waltzing and decide who's going to marry who and how the money of the British aristocracy is going to be organized in the next generation. Now, these large men are wearing opposite colored leggings. Very like avant-garde, Cirque du Soleil kind of thing going on. So after they line up, it all gets like very tense for a second and everybody freaks out. The quarterback, the QB, decides when the ball is going to be in play. So a note about the quarterbacks. I understand that both of these teams have a very, very famous quarterback. So the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes, of course, and then the Bucks have this guy who I think is a Republican congressional intern of some sort. So back to the lineup of the large men in leggings, the debutantes and the suitors. So the QB then signals when he wants the game to start. So he signals the large man in front of him to throw the ball to him through his legs like a water birth. And then the QB catches that water birth baby, and he's like, oh my god, life is birthed into the world. But then when he realizes the rising cost of childcare in the US, he decides, I don't want this baby anymore, and he chucks it across the field. He chucks it like no paid family leave. And then one of the large men who's on his team tries to catch that ball at the other side of the field and then tries to run it all the way back to the opposite side of the field with all the other large men trying to tackle him. But here's where it gets kind of tricky, is that there are times you're allowed to tackle people, and there are times you're not allowed to tackle people, which I didn't know. I thought you were just allowed to slam into whoever you wanted at any time. As we know, the Chiefs got in a little bit of trouble for tackling one of the Bucks while they were trying to catch the ball, because you can't tackle somebody when they're trying to catch the ball, but you can tackle them once they have the ball and they're running with it. Which, when you think about it, is very progressive, because it's like, when someone doesn't have, their own capital yet and they're on the brink of success, you can't prevent them from getting, success, getting that money, but then, once they got the ball and they're in the higher, ball-having tax bracket, then you can take them down and be like, regulation! That was not a very good metaphor. This is why I'm on YouTube and not in politics. Another thing about this game is there was a lot of grabbing people's ankles. When I thought about, football, confrontations, I thought of, a kind of gladiator, two people, tackling each other, grabbing each other by the shoulders, mano a mano. But there was a lot of, charging from below and, hugging people's ankles, like a toddler who doesn't want their mom to, make them leave Chuck E. Cheese, Mommy! No! I don't want to go! I didn't get to play the whack-a-mole! But yeah, apparently you can grab people's ankles, and that's a thing. Which is very strange, because I feel like football is, like, in general, the only time in life where you see, like, a grown man grab another grown man's ankles. Correct me if I'm wrong about that, but the only other time I've seen that happen is in a bar fight at a liberal arts college. Which, by the way, if you're looking for a sport, just, like, bar fights among people who don't know how to fight. So anyway, that was interesting. What else did I learn about football? Oh, I learned that, like, the action's very fast. It's like a very short burst of action. Like, I actually found it very hard to follow. It seems like a pretty complicated game. Like, when I watch, like, soccer or something, or basketball, it's like you can kind of keep track of, like, what's going on, because it's like goal, people trying to get it from one side to the other. But then in football, it's like there'll be 4 seconds of action, and then the referee will be like, no, that wasn't good. And I'm like, I don't understand how that was different than anything else that just happened. Like, it just seems like, football's wild, man. I see why people like it. I get the appeal of football. It's like, it's such a spectacle. It's such a show. Like, it's such like a show of like strength and bravado and skill and like quick like reflexes and like weird oat milk commercials. Then there was this guy who ran on the field in a pink Borat bikini, and I gotta say, while I appreciate the message, one of the weirder breast cancer awareness stunts I've seen. But no, in all seriousness, how did that guy get on the field? Like, this is one of the most like high security events in the world. Plus, like, they have like COVID regulations, so I'm sure they have like people watching and make sure nobody's like kissing or, you know, touching each other, taking their mask off. So it's like, how did this guy get almost butt-ass naked and run on the field? It's like, God. Like, if I was one of the players, I'd be really angry about that, because, you know, you don't know who's running on the field. They could clip your ankles and get a penalty. Someone who I also don't think gets enough media attention in this is the stone cold hearted bitch that is this ref. I don't know who this guy is, but he is a trip. Like, he just, like, everyone else is like super like in the moment, and he's just like calmly like, nope. Anyway, I'm glad I watched the Super Bowl. I'm very glad I watched the Super Bowl. Honestly, this is not the first football game I've watched, but the first one I watched in a long time. And it's good to just know that, like, I have a little bit more knowledge of, like, a great American pastime that's deeply problematic. And you know what? It was fun. It was a spectacle. Like, it was interesting to watch, even though I had trouble following it at times. And, you know, maybe I'll become a football fan now. Who knows? Anyway, goodbye from me and from Pumbaa. We hope to see you soon. So, like, subscribe, check out my YouTube, check out my TikTok. Tell me below what you thought of the Super Bowl, whether you're a new football fan, a lifelong football fan. Tell me what you thought of it. Tell me what you think of the men in leggings doling it out in Tampa. Pumbaa's so soft. Now be gone!